At first, I didn't notice the silence. After 3 days of lies, cheap hotel sheets, and my phone left on airplane mode, quiet had become normal. But when I stepped back into our home, dragging my suitcase across the hardwood, the silence wasn't empty. It was heavy, almost suffocating. "Daniel?" My voice cracked against the stillness. No footsteps. No casual reply from the kitchen. The faint scent of his cologne lingered, but everything else felt stripped of him. His leather jacket was gone from the coat hook. His boots weren't by the door. Even the framed photo of us at the lake, my smile wide, his arm around me, had vanished. I gripped my suitcase handle until my knuckles burned. I'd told him I was visiting my sister for a girls' weekend. I hadn't answered a single one of his calls, but he wasn't supposed to vanish. He wasn't supposed to play the one card I never imagined he'd hold: indifference. Before he left, Daniel and I had been married for 8 years. We'd built a rhythm: quiet mornings with coffee, evenings sharing stories from work, late-night movies we never finished because one of us always fell asleep. But routines, when stretched too long, blur into cages. At least, that's what I told myself when I met Aaron. He was all fire, all attention, everything Daniel had stopped giving me. With Aaron, I felt seen again, desired again. So I lied. I told Daniel my sister was having a crisis and needed me. I turned off my phone, shut him out completely, and spent 3 nights with another man. Daniel had never questioned me before. He trusted me with a blind, steady faith I had come to take for granted. But when I returned, he was gone. The first signs were subtle. At first, I thought maybe he'd gone to work. I checked the bedroom. The bed was perfectly made. Strange, because he never tucked in hospital corners. The closet was half empty, shirts missing, drawers pulled out as if someone had been deliberate but hurried. I opened the bathroom cabinet. His razor, his deodorant, gone. Only my things remained, staring back at me like silent evidence. "Daniel," I whispered again, though I already knew he wouldn't answer. On the kitchen counter, I found an envelope in his handwriting. My stomach dropped before I even opened it. "Emma, by the time you read this, I'll be gone. Don't bother calling. I've made sure you can't reach me." I needed to stop being the man who waits at home, trusting while his wife lies about where she is. I know about Aaron. I know where you really were. I gave you enough rope, and you used it to strangle us both. You cut me off, Emma. You didn't just take a trip. You erased me from your weekend like I didn't exist. That's when I realized I already didn't exist to you. So I'm erasing myself for good. Don't look for me. I won't be found, Daniel. The paper shook in my hands. He knew. Somehow, he knew everything. Denial and desperation flooded me. No, no, no. I whispered, pressing the letter to my chest. He couldn't just disappear. People didn't do that. We'd shared too much, built too much. You don't throw away 8 years overnight. I grabbed my phone, tried calling him straight to voicemail. I checked his location on our shared app, his social media accounts, disabled, deleted. The more I searched, the more suffocating the truth became. While I was off tangled in hotel sheets with Aaron, Daniel had been untangling me from his life. The memory of us. I sank onto the couch and stared at the bare wall where our photo had hung. My mind drifted back to small moments. The way he kissed my forehead every morning before work. How he warmed my hands in the car when I complained about the cold. The night I had food poisoning, and he stayed up all night changing the bucket, whispering, "I've got you." Had I really thrown all that away for a man who wouldn't even respond to my text now that Daniel was gone? I opened Aaron's last message. "Fun weekend. Same time next month." My throat tightened. Aaron wasn't going to catch me when I fell. He wasn't Daniel. In a panic, I drove to my sister's house. She answered in a bathrobe, frowning. "Emma, you weren't here this weekend." Blood drained from my face. "Did he call you?" She crossed her arms. "Daniel came by, asked if you were staying with me. I didn't lie for you. I told him I hadn't seen you." The room spun. That was it. That was when he must have known. My sister's eyes softened. "Emma, what did you do?" I couldn't answer. Shame pressed down too heavy. The next week blurred into desperation. I went to his office. He'd quit. I called his friends. He told them he needed space and asked them not to share information with me. Even his parents only said, "He doesn't want to talk to you right now." Everywhere I turned, there was a wall. He hadn't just left. He had erased the path back to him. At night, I couldn't sleep. I imagined him packing his things, calm, maybe even relieved. I tried picturing his life without me. Was he somewhere far away? Starting over? Did he still think of me at all? One night, I drafted a message I never sent. "Daniel, I was stupid. I was selfish. I thought I needed something new. But what I needed was to remember what I already had. Please, just let me see you. Let me explain." But the truth stared back at me. What explanation could undo betrayal? What words could rebuild the trust I'd shattered? The final blow came 3 weeks later, from a mutual friend who accidentally let it slip. He seems happier, lighter, like a weight has been lifted. I smiled politely, but inside my chest collapsed. Daniel wasn't suffering like I was. He wasn't waiting for me to crawl back. He was free. Now, months later, the silence is permanent. The house feels colder, emptier, echoing with everything I once took for granted. I keep replaying that weekend in my head. If I hadn't cut him off, if I'd answered his calls, maybe he'd still be here. Maybe I could have lied better, delayed the reckoning. But maybe that's the point. Daniel saw through me, through everything, and chose dignity over begging. I thought I was the one leaving. In the end, he was. And the cruelest truth of all? Losing him hurt more than he'll ever know. Because Daniel didn't just disappear from the house. He disappeared from me forever.